Happy Tuesday out there, FSU weather. Hope you had a great day today around the Big Bend region, as right now, currently, can't complain too much about the weather around the area for us. Look at that beautiful sunset. We're going to be tracking that as the night goes along, giving you plenty of those pictures over Doak Campbell Stadium. You know you love it, just like I do. 73 degrees, partly cloudy skies, just an easterly breeze at 3 miles an hour. Not too much change in the temperature. In fact, because we've had so much sun over the past couple days, it's what's allowed us to bring in a lot more summer-like temperatures for us. Lower 70s across the region, even into 6 o'clock right here in the Big Bend, 73 in Tallahassee, for example. And not getting too much summery conditions as well. That's where it's more humid out. Currently, dew point's only in the 30s, but temperature is going to get down still to the 40s tonight, and another nice highs of 70 degrees tomorrow. Mid-70s, I should say. So get out the sunscreen, get on a tan, and watch FSU weather.
What's going on, FSU weather fans? I'm meteorologist Tyler Sherrod here with your Tuesday edition of FSU weather. So something you're going to notice throughout this show is that conditions are very sunny. It's pretty warm outside as well, and this warming trend is going to continue as we go throughout this week. And even once we get to Saturday and Sunday, we're going to start to see those temperatures really pick up to those lower 80s, and that's going to be the first time, I believe, that we're going to finally get into the 80s for the year 2021, which this is perfect weather for me. Whenever it gets warm outside, I'm more inclined to go out, go for a run, go to the gym, which is perfect because it's bulking season. Got to look good before the summer comes up. So I'm really loving this weather. Keep the rain chances out of Florida for now because I'm really enjoying it. These upper 70s, lower 80s, that's really the sweet spot for Florida. And then as we continue to move closer to the summer, though, things are not going to be quite as comfortable. We're really going to start seeing those 90s, maybe even start cracking to the hundreds once we get into May. So enjoy this great weather here in Florida and Tallahassee in particular, and all this sunshine. Maybe this weekend, go to the beach, go to the pool, or go for a hike, because really the weather is absolutely perfect here in Florida. And really the rest of the Southeast is seeing very similar conditions as a high pressure system is dominating our region right now, and that's the reason why things have been so warm and dry here in the Big Bend. As we start going to Central and South Florida, there's a little bit more humidity, maybe some stray showers as well, but we're going to get into all of this and more throughout our show. For now, we're going to kick things off to the wall for our first local look of the evening.
Thank you, Tyler. Wow, look at that sunset. It's looking really nice. As he was saying, it is starting to feel more like those summer-like temperatures. As we are currently looking at 73 degrees. We got some clouds in the sky and some easterly winds that are 3 miles per hour. Now today, our high was at 75. It's really fairly close to the average, a little bit warmer. However, it was not as warm as 87 back in 1974. Our low, 32 degrees today. That is actually much cooler than our average and usual, but not as cold as our all-time low for today at 24 degrees. We are currently seeing some partly cloudy skies in Tallahassee. It's a little bit clear around our region. We're sitting at 70 in Bainbridge, 72 in Quincy. Thomasville, you're looking a little bit cooler than us at 68. Our dew point temperatures, we got 39 for us in Tallahassee as well as our neighbors in Quincy. It's a little bit more humid down along the coast in Apalachicola, and it's a little bit dry in Thomasville as well at 41 degrees. Now, when we look at our satellite radar, nothing but clear skies, and you might see some partly cloudy skies coming in, and there's a little bit of showers there. It might be controlled burns. However, it is not too much to worry about. And our upper level water vapor, it is currently very dry along the upper atmosphere, and the moisture is going to be coming in down on us, as you can see, from Alabama and Georgia. And as far as the next 24 hours, it is still going to be nice and clear. This is the perfect time to be walking with your dog, jumping in the pool, maybe doing some barbecues. It is looking absolutely nice for this not just the next couple of days, for pretty much the rest of the week. And for tonight's forecast, it is going to cool down once again to the mid-40s, fairly comfortable. 45 in Tallahassee, 45 in Quincy, and it's a little bit warmer along the coast, hanging around the lower 50s. And for tomorrow's forecast, it's going to warm back up again to the mid-70s, 76 for us in Tallahassee and Quincy, and it's still going to be a little bit cooler along the coast. St. Mark's and Apalachicola will be hovering around 70 degrees. So for tonight, there still will be partly cloudy skies, but it will be clearing up as the night progresses, 49 degrees, and winds are going to be sitting around 5 miles per hour. For tomorrow, it's going to be warming back up again into 74 degrees, so it's going to be feeling very nice all day tomorrow. And so for Wednesday, we got some clouds coming in, and Thursday it should be clearing out, and Friday those clouds might be coming back. But we will be sitting around the mid to upper 70s for our highs, so it is really starting to feel like those spring-like temperatures, and even our lows are sitting up into the mid to upper 40s and even warming up to the mid 50s by the time we get to this weekend. And so Riley is going to be discussing the rest of the southeast.
Well, Christian, if you look at that forecast, you can notice we do not have really any precipitation chances over the next week, and we are also seeing a very nice day and dry day across much of the southeast region. Look at all these nice skies. We might have some clouds over areas such as Atlanta and Bowling Green, but overall, nothing in terms of wet weather across the southeast region this evening. And we're wrapping up the day still in the 70s in much of the region, a little cooler as you head farther towards the north and the east. Charleston, they're at 60 degrees, but Shreveport, Louisiana, that perfect temperature, if you ask me, 75 degrees there. And we're feeling fairly dry across much of the region, specifically where it's a little cooler. We're actually a little drier today, but portions of South Florida and portions of Arkansas into Louisiana picking up on some more comfortable dew points. I think when you hit around the 40s and the 50s, you're not too dry, so that is good news there. Winds across the region, not very strong until you get to places like New Orleans, picking up a 16-mile-per-hour wind gust there. But notice we kind of have some clockwise rotation. We do have a high-pressure system that's been dominating the East Coast for quite a while now. It's been a couple days, and we're going to continue to see its effects, which will keep things very dry, and it will keep skies fairly sunny. And we're not seeing any precipitation here on our satellite and radar today. Maybe some clouds that we did see on that Earth cam moving their way through Atlanta and portions of the southeast, but the Sunshine State definitely staying very sunny for our day today and dry as well. We see these oranges. That indicates very dry air. We do have a little bit more moisture starting to move into the Panhandle and eventually portions of the Florida Peninsula, although do not expect any rain out of that for now. And this evening, we are going to see temperatures get a little chilly in portions of the southeast, specifically as you head up towards areas like Montgomery into Atlanta. 42 degrees is your low for tonight. Heading down to Miami, though, where we are a little bit more moist, have a little bit more humidity, hovering right around 67 degrees, almost hitting almost only getting down to 69 there in Key West, staying fairly nice in New Orleans as well. Now, into the day to tomorrow, we are going to see temperatures return back into the 70s. Don't be surprised if you do hit a few places in Florida where we get into the 80s for our day tomorrow. Tampa flirting with the 80s there at 79 degrees. But notice this, guys, we do not have any rain in the forecast across the southeast for our day tomorrow. So, Evan, things are going to be staying dry, and that is good news if you want to get outside and do some outdoor activities.
Absolutely. If you're traveling anywhere in the southeast, it's looking like a grand old time. If you're traveling anywhere in the country, it's been mainly quiet throughout the area to not only today, but for the past couple of days. Our Storm Prediction Center, which usually predicts tornadoes and severe weather, very quiet over the past week or so. So, beautiful weather for the most of the country. One thing to keep in note, though, look at this surge of warm moisture and spring-like conditions, especially going to the north, where we have had record highs up in Minneapolis and Chicago, actually, for the past 2 days. Look at that, currently still sticking around 66 and 61 degrees respectively in Chicago and Minneapolis. So very warm up there, mainly because bringing up a lot of moisture, starting to get a little bit of moisture in contrast to the dew points, which means it's going to have a front soon possibly come through across the country, which could deliver some severe weather out into the Midwest, because you usually see these dew points of 19 in Billings and 18 in Denver right currently in Minneapolis, but in Chicago right now they're currently up to 45 and 31 degrees. So here's going to be the development of that cold front currently across the Midwest. Meanwhile, we do still have a good amount of rain further out in the west itself, which is going to drag along with it. Along the west coast, San Francisco, up in Portland and Seattle, a lot of rain showers actually consistent with the low pressure. It's pretty much just been hanging around the Pacific Northwest, up and around there. So very cool around there. But meanwhile, southeast and much of the northeast even, look how dominant this high pressure system. No precipitation too much within the southeast, even getting up into the northeast as well. Mainly from a lack of moisture. You see this really dying down because of the high pressure system being so dominant as well. Meanwhile, here's going to be the start of the moisture to come up into the Midwest, into the northern part of our region. Mainly from a low pressure center. You can see just right about there, right around Denver for us as well. Drought monitor, good thing. It's been raining actually across the southwest, so this has actually been good news for containing that drought around for us a little bit and getting a little more rain than usual currently over those certain areas. So here's our future radar. See this low pressure start to develop and move up to the northeast, bringing a little bit of snow north of Denver and Chicago, but look at this whole bunch of rain delivering and actually going from the southwest to the northeast across Iowa and Wisconsin and into Minneapolis as well. Meanwhile, southeast still staying pretty dry among that since it's only going up to the northeast, and basically the high pressure system is helping it to drive up there. So look at that, a low of 53 in Chicago for early March. Can't complain too much about that. Meanwhile, we're still dealing with the cold temperatures further out west, 25 tonight in Denver and 24 in Billings. Still see that surge of moisture coming throughout, giving us some warmer weather for the middle part of the country. Still a little bit chillier, though, still in Boston at 39 degrees. Meanwhile, still going to face those rain showers tonight along the west coast, 42 in San Francisco and 46 in Los Angeles tonight, and see how it continues tomorrow. Here's that contrast in the temperatures, like 49 in Minneapolis. Meanwhile, 78 in Kansas City tomorrow. Going to be a beautiful day. 82 in San Antonio, looking like our hot spot tomorrow from that warm surge of moisture for us. But for now, let's give it back to local down in Tallahassee with Tyler.
Thanks, Evan. Glad to talk about my favorite city, not just in Florida, not just the United States, but the entire entire world, that being Tallahassee, Florida. Beautiful sunset over Doak Campbell Stadium right now. This week really going to be the last week on FSU weather that we can see the sun setting like this, because with daylight savings time coming up this Sunday, the sun's going to be a little bit higher in the sky around showtime at 6 p.m. So currently 73 degrees. Even though we have some clouds in the sky, still an absolutely gorgeous sunset, and winds coming around 3 miles per hour, so not very breezy at all as well. Temperatures throughout the Tallahassee and Big Bend region are fairly comfortable. Tallahassee 73 once again. Getting up to Thomasville 68 degrees, and then along the coastline a little bit cooler. Apalachicola, you guys are sitting at 65 degrees right now. And really there's not a lot of moisture in the air either, so these temperatures are very comfortable. Tallahassee, seeing a lot of dry air with dew points at 39 degrees. There's a little bit more moisture coming in Apalachicola with that dew point of 50 degrees. That's just because they're on that coastline, so they're always going to see at least some kind of moisture coming into the region. And that's just because they have winds coming off of the water right now, helping to bring in some of that moisture. Same for St. Mark's as well, but once you get away from that coastline, the winds really start to die off. Maybe some slightly breezy conditions, but nothing to really worry about whenever it comes to the wind. And don't have to really worry about any cloud coverage or rain either for the Big Bend. You can see some clouds rolling into Dothan and Bainbridge right now, but Tallahassee, Perry, Bainbridge, really everyone around this region is looking good right now, and they're going to continue to look good for the next 24 hours. Might see a little bit heavier cloud coverage over Valdosta tomorrow at 6 p.m., but any clouds that you're seeing in the region are going to be pretty scattered at best. So for tonight, it's going to get down to 49 degrees. We're going to see whatever clouds we have in the sky over Tallahassee start to clear out overnight, and winds going to stay fairly calm around 5 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, we're going to see fairly similar temperatures that we saw today for the high, being 74 degrees, and we're going to keep the skies sunny. And as we go throughout the week, we're going to see the warming trend continue into the weekend, with Saturday being our warmest day at 83 degrees for that high. And then once we get into Sunday, you're going to start to see temperatures drop off again going into Monday and Tuesday. By the end of the beginning of next week, we're going to be in those mid-70s once again. So really a great week overall for the weather, and really not going to see much in the way of rain chances either. But that's all we have for the local. Now I'm going to pass things off to Riley with an educational segment.
Yeah, Tyler, and with that really dry, really beautiful conditions ahead this week, it shows we are being dominated by what we are really seeing as a high-pressure system. There's a very strong high-pressure system currently over much of the East Coast right now. And what that is doing, since it's so strong, we're seeing not only an extended period of dry weather, but also quite a bit of wind speeds in the marine areas in the Gulf of Mexico. Specifically, I got a question by my uncle out in Key West, and marine meteorology will now be what we are talking about today because of that. And why is marine meteorology important? Why is it important that we have a lot of forecasters that give updates on the ocean where nobody lives? Well, we have a lot of sea routes for ships like cruise ships. Even though they are not functioning right now, there are still shipping ships, and there's a lot of people that still work by traveling out there overseas, and they need to know if they're going to be boating into a storm or not. Now, key factors here with the educational segment this evening: wind. Wind is a very important issue over the water, because when you have high wind speeds, it makes it more difficult for people to ride their boats. So what we see here is the different months of the year and the general directions of the wind based off of atmospheric patterns. And what that wind can do is cool and warm water, and fog forms over water when you have air over a warm surface pretty much getting pushed over a very cold waters. Now, over that cold water, if you have this air that is warm being cooled by the ocean, you're going to cool it to a point eventually where you hit the dew point, and that will cause water to condense and fog to form over the ocean. So that's why when you get warm air over cold water, you might be seeing some fog occur. You even see this with warm air after a melting snow. So that is also something you see with advection fog. Now here, what we are basically seeing in this graph, I know it can be a little confusing to look at, but when you are forecasting wave heights, you pretty much want to give the worst case scenario. So in this blue shaded area is pretty much the worst case scenario for the worst waves you could see, but in the green area is probably where it's more likely. So when you get a forecast of about 10-foot waves, you might not be seeing those 10-foot waves. Maybe 5 feet might be more likely, but you do want to be prepared if you are boating to get those larger waves so you're not caught off guard, Christian.
Man, that is really good to know, Riley. Thank you so much. And well, now we take a look back at Florida, and even here in North Florida, it's starting to really feel like Florida, as people say. We're starting to look like similar temperatures down in South and Central Florida. We're sitting at 73 in Tallahassee, and Orlando is a little bit cooler right now at 69, and even down in Key West, it's 72 degrees. So it's feeling pretty nice throughout the entire state. For the majority of the peninsula, it's looking pretty humid at the moment. Gainesville is at 46, 49 in Orlando, and we're probably sitting at the most dry spot right now, 39 in Tallahassee, and even more humid down in Key West. And right now, there is that moisture that will be heading down in our area very soon, and there will not necessarily be rain attributed to that, but the rest of Florida is this whole orange right here. There is some dry that is going to be passing around right now. And so most of the state right now, it's looking pretty nice and clear. You can see some of them clouds starting to come down to us. That's why we're seeing some partly cloudy skies. Down here in Central Florida is also looking pretty clear. Along the Space Coast, you might start to see some of those clouds coming in, and even down in Palm Beach County, there are some clouds going into even the Everglades down in South Florida. And so currently in Miami, it is, for the next 3 days, it's 76, 79, and 79, all very warm days with those partly cloudy skies. In Tampa, it's very similar, a little bit warmer. It's 79 tomorrow, 82 on Thursday, and 84 on Friday. Orlando, the largest city in the middle of the state, 77, a lot warmer on Thursday, 81, and Friday it's going to be a little bit warmer for 82 degrees. And Jacksonville, it's going to be 73 for you guys tomorrow, 75 on Thursday, and it's going to be 78 on Friday. Pensacola, it's going to also be partly cloudy with some sunny skies, and you will also be sitting along the mid-70s. So for tonight's forecast, it's going to be a little bit windy down in Key West, sitting at 70 degrees, the hot spot of our state. But as you get further into Central Florida, it's going to be around the lower 60s and mid-50s, and in North Florida, we're going to be reaching 49 in Tallahassee. As for tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be very warm throughout the state. It's going to be the upper 70s throughout Florida. Orlando, you're looking at 79, and even in Key West, you're looking at 78 degrees. And so we're now going to pass things off to Riley and Evan, who's going to be talking about some lifestyle.
Thank you very much, Christian. Well, it's been beautiful weather for quite a while, some time, and I know it's been beautiful weather for quite some time, but I always like to say take advantage of the beautiful weather. We do have some rain actually scheduled maybe for late next week. So what kind of activities can we do over the next couple days?
Well, it's a great time of year with temperatures getting a little bit warmer to go outside, go on a hike, maybe even get to the pool if it's warm enough for that for you. Especially with how sunny it is going to be, you can even get to the beach and tan. I mean, the water's a little cold this time of year still, but I mean, there's still going to be sun.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a nice jog over Doak Campbell Stadium maybe. What's some ideas you like to do during the certain time of like spring?
I'd like, especially with the kind of weather we're having, it's a good time to go on a walk at sunset. Speaking of a sunset, look at that sunset over Doak Campbell Stadium right now, getting in on some nice colors, and we're going to be seeing the sun across the horizon pretty often over the next week or so. And at the airport, it also means it's a very good time to travel. Absolutely.
Not too many winds from any fronts with rain coming through as well, ruining your travel at all if you happen to be going anywhere throughout Tally International. We've been talking about through the Southeastern National graphics of how it's been pretty beautiful everywhere, just about. Look at all those. No delays around the area, wherever you go, pretty much in the country.
So even flying over some of these cities, don't expect much in terms of turbulence. Maybe you want to see some more clouds, but you will not be seeing any clouds walking your dog on the day tomorrow. We're going to start off a little chilly because of how dry it will be this evening, but we will quickly warm up into the 70s around noon.
Yep, and then the Leech looking pretty swell as well, especially your walk over there, maybe around 80 degrees. And then, well, just got to look out if you happen to go into the baseball game at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. But for now, we're actually going to pass it off to Tyler, currently, with the last local look of the evening.
Thank you, Evan. One last look at the beautiful sunset over Doak Campbell Stadium here at 6:24 p.m. Great as usual, seeing that scene over Doak Campbell Stadium. Let's take a look at that almanac. Today's high was 75 degrees. That's just 2 degrees above the average high for today, and a little bit off from that record high of 87 set in 1974. Our low temperature was actually right at freezing this morning. I was actually surprised when I woke up to see just how cold it was outside, fairly well below that average of 46 degrees for the low, but not quite at that record low of 24 degrees set in 1971. So the Big Bend region seeing some fairly uniform temperature distribution, with that hot spot being Tallahassee right now at 73 degrees. Gets a little bit cooler as we go to the north. Thomasville at 66, Valdosta 70 degrees, and then along the coastline, Apalachicola is at 65 degrees right now. And our Muggy meter showing us how it feels outside with all this humidity, and it feels pretty good because there is no humidity to really speak about. Very happy faces all throughout the Big Bend region, no mugginess to be seen. And the satellite and radar really supports this. No rain on the radar. Seeing a little bit of cloud coverage to our north, right around Bainbridge and Dothan. Pretty clear for the Big Bend. In the next 24 hours, you're not going to see much of a change from this pattern. Tallahassee going to be pretty clear. Thomasville going to be pretty clear as well. And as we head to tonight, any clouds that you saw on the Doak Campbell Stadium cam, those are going to clear out. Winds are going to be fairly light coming out of the south at 5 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, going to get up to 74 degrees and sunny. Going to continue that warming trend as we go throughout the week. We're going to keep winds fairly calm at 5 miles per hour. And as we go through the day tomorrow, once you get to 12 p.m., going to get up to 68 degrees. That high temperature going to happen right around 3 p.m. At 74 degrees, and then going to start to cool down once we get close to 6 p.m. Going to get down to 71 degrees. But expect that sunshine to stick around all day tomorrow. And expect the sunshine to stick around all day, every day for the next 7 days. Friday and Saturday, you're going to continue to see those temperatures pick back up. Saturday, going to be that high of 83 degrees. Then we're slowly going to start to cool down again starting on Sunday. Going to have a high of 81. Monday, a high of 76. Tuesday, a high of 75. And you're going to see those low temperatures pick up as well. By the time we get to Monday night into Tuesday morning, we're going to have a low temperature of 60 degrees. But now, I'm going to throw things back to the desk with Christian to close out the show.
Yes, and well, as everybody else was saying on the show, it's perfect time to be enjoying the weather outside. It's very nice and sunny and clear, and it's perfect time to enjoy yourself by maybe starting to go to the pool, and of course, walking your dog. Walking your dog is very important, and you know, it's honestly it's starting to really feel like summer here, considering that North Florida, I would say, gets some nice, out of the entire state of Florida, I would say North Florida gets a good amount of different seasons. And even though we've been starting to warm up, there are still some cool spells that we will still have as we transition into spring. It is still nearing the end of winter. And looks like Saturday is going to be our warmest day for the next week at 83 degrees. And even though our highs are going to cool down a little bit on Monday and Tuesday, the lows are also going to be warming up into the mid to upper 50s and lower 60s. So I personally feel like this is the perfect time to be enjoying the weather. It's not too cold and it's not too warm, so it is, and it's actually not even humid outside, so that makes it even more refreshing for us. But please follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU weather, and also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FSU weather. And as always, we are always live on YouTube, youtube.com/FSU weather. And please also follow us on Instagram at FSU weather. We always love it when you guys send us your beautiful photos, whether it's in our area or wherever you may be in the country. We will most likely post it and tell the whole world about it. And so thank you so much for tuning in with us. I am student meteorologist Christian Palacio, and have a good evening.